Good evening. Good evening, all. Welcome to the Board of Trustees meeting of the Academy Charter School. I'm going to call the meeting to order at 7:05. I'm going to change it up a little bit and jump right to number 3 on the agenda, and we're going to go to the Pledge of Allegiance. All rise, please.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Doris Nielsen's going to call the roll.
Anthony Boyle. Here. Mary Deisler. Here. George McClay. Here. John McGrody.
Here.
Doris Nielsen. Here. And Robert Sullivan.
Here. Thank you. Approval of the agenda. Tonight's agenda is laid out before you. The applicable statutes and the rules of the meeting are listed on the first page. I'll entertain a motion from the board to approve the agenda. Motion by Boyle, seconded by Deisler. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
Do you have any more agendas, sir? You can have mine. Thank you.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes from the December 18, 2014 board meeting. The minutes are attached at the end of the agenda. I'll entertain a motion from the board. Motion by Sullivan, seconded by Boyle. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Report from the executive session. We met in executive session tonight from 5:30 on. We thank everybody for coming out tonight. There's something in the air out there tonight. There was traffic everywhere, and we appreciate everybody coming out tonight. We met in executive session from 5:30 to 7. We considered a couple personnel issues, and one of those is in a resolution. We talked about some budget issues. We got a report from our interim CEO. The traffic problems they extend into New Jersey, and our our school treasurer was not able to be here tonight. Mr. Thompson is stuck on Route 73 in Jersey. So we are going to communicate with him on email, but there's not a whole lot going on from the financial perspective with the board. So those are the issues we discussed tonight in executive session from about 5:30 to about 7 tonight. And at this point, I'm going to ask, I believe we have special recognition, Mrs. Schmidt, if we could. Yeah, if you just want to jump right into that, we could do that. Thank you. Thank you and congratulations. Obviously, our students are the most important element here at Philadelphia Academy. Thank you for coming out. At this point, I'm going to ask Anne Marie Segment to provide us with the CEO report.
Good evening. I'd like to give you an update on some staff, facilities, and fundraising activities for the month of January. For staffing, we have 2 new hires. Nicole Brisky has been hired to take our first grade position that was vacated by Katie Heller, who moved to the middle school autistic support class. Nicole comes to us with a wealth of experience from SPIN. She's a master's level teacher with a certificate in autism from Arcadia. She's also a certified professional development instructor. Jacqueline Paul has been hired for the high school special education department to fill an assistant vacancy. She has an associate's degree from CHI in computer networking. Her work experience includes working as an employment specialist for Community Options, which supports adults with disabilities, and acting as a personal care assistant also in the classroom setting. With facilities, the Experiential Academic Kitchen, aka the EA Kitchen as we know it, is getting a much needed facelift. The kitchen's being painted and the cabinets are being repaired. We hope to be able to update the kitchen in the near future. As far as fundraising is concerned, the elementary school will hold a special field day for students on Friday, May 29th. The day will be run by the Boosterthon organization and include a walkathon that will allow our families to pledge online. The focus of the program is fun, fitness, and character education. Members of the organization will visit the school during the 2 weeks prior to the field day. Our bingo and our golf outing are also our other main spring fundraisers that still require additional help from some of our families. I'll be meeting with our golf outing team next week to look at ways to increase our revenues for the golf fundraiser, which is typically held in June. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Principal reports?
For the high school held its science fair on December 16th. The fair was a huge success, and we are excited to be submitting 21 students to the George Washington Carver Science Fair. And for the first time, 6 of our students are going to be going on to the Pennsylvania Junior Academy of Science Fair, which is hosted by Penn State University. Our juniors just finished keystone testing with the biology keystones on the 7th and 8th of January. Students worked hard. Sophomores and freshmen will test in May. And as I've spoken about in previous meetings, our Power Hour classes are diligently preparing for all testing blocks, including the Keystone exam, AP exams, and the SAT. Report card conferences for our second marking period, the semester break, will be held on February 11th. We ask all of our parents to please mark their calendar and plan on coming out to discuss your child's progress from 6 p.m. to 7:45 on February 11th. And a really exciting thing that we're looking forward to with the high school is that teacher websites are coming for our second semester. This will allow our parents to see your child's homework assignments from our school website with no usernames and no passwords. And we expect this to be a welcome relief for our parents because it's very difficult to have to juggle all of the different usernames and passwords for our account. So they will be up and ready for our second semester.
Thank you. For the high school report. Grade school?
Good evening, everyone. I want to give a special thank you to Tom Horton and Joan, I'm saying this right or wrong, Mazzafro, pardon me, for their work last Tuesday on that very snowy, icy day. That is our bus driver and our aide on bus 2 for their hard work during the whole emergency situation. They were organized and they kept everyone calm and safe. $2,000 was raised in December from PAC's Charity Stress Down Days and donated to our families. We are participating in the Carver Science Fair, just like the high school, for the first time in several years. We have 21 middle school students that were entered into the fair this year. And last but not least, 2 PAC's 8th graders received trustees scholarships from Holy Ghost Prep as a result of their entrance exam and application packages. Only 5 of these scholarships are awarded to every student that applies there, and 2 of them were our students. So a special congratulations to Matthew Burst and Jeffrey DiFrancesco.
Home and school reports?
All right, for the home and school report for the grade school, up and coming, we have Monday, February 2nd, from 6:30 to 8:30. We have a free pailless skate for all home and school members. If you're not a member, it's $10 per family. Sunday, February 22nd, is our father-daughter dance from 3:30 to 6:30. It's in the communication, so keep aware for that date. The holiday shop back in December was a huge success, thanks to Cheryl Owens and Jessica Galloway. We had our first Applebee's fundraiser on Sunday, December 14th, thanks to all of our PAC staff who came out and were serving all of our PAC's family. Thanks to the entire Jocelyn family. for taking pictures, Mr. Santa Claus, and Bernice Hill for letting Mrs. Claus come. We had lots of fun. It was a great fundraiser, and we look forward to doing it next year. That's it.
Thank you. Parent Advisory Council?
I gotta go look for it. All right.
We're gonna have to stand up or shout.
You want the mic?
Our Super Bowl dinner is Thursday, January 29th at 6 o'clock. Flyers are on the website. They have also been sent out through mailing for all high school parents. The deadline for the tickets to purchase them is the 23rd. We're going to have a field goal pass for the kids and also character. It'll be a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Finance Committee, as I reported earlier, Mike Thompson is stuck in traffic. So we did talk about finances in the back. We're hoping that with the new administration in Harrisburg that we get some renewed funding to our schools and all our schools. Old business, there's none at this time. Under the new business, I'm going to move into the resolutions. Resolution authorizing the Philadelphia Charter School Board of Trustees to approve the personnel actions. Mr. Segman spoke about these earlier. The hiring of Nicole Brisky and Jacqueline Paul. The resolution is attached. I'll entertain a motion for the resolution. Motion by Boyle, seconded by Deister. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Resolution 1415. 15-2, resolution authorizing the Philadelphia Academy Charter School Board of Trustees to adopt the school calendar for the year 2015 and 2016. This calendar was discussed, I believe, I know it was discussed at last month's meeting. I'm not sure if it was discussed at November's meeting too, but it's a second reading of it, and it is, it should be attached to your agenda. I'll entertain a motion to approve the calendar. Motion by McClay. I'll second the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Mr. McClay is going to talk on some transportation facilities and maybe personnel issues. I'm going to hand the microphone down to George as he chairs those committees.
Very quickly, right now we still don't have anything on transportation. Bill, we have to sit down and meet. Do you have anything new from your staff?
Sorry, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
At this point, I have nothing more on transportation. Bill and I have to meet. It was extended to him at the last meeting to come with a suggestion of how we can make the transportation work, and that's still pending. Facilities, I met with Phil Palin. Phil Palin's not here. We met. We developed together some ideas of saving the energy. We brought in an outside firm that has cost us no money to evaluate our high school and the lighting, the heating systems, everything. We're paying enormous money in energy, and we're going to try to reduce that in the coming year. That's all I have, sir.
In addition, on the transportation front, the School District of Philadelphia forwarded us a contract for transportation going on forward. Our contract was due to expire, and this is the new contract. We looked at it. They had included some cuts in that contract, unfortunately. The plan of the board is, we just got the contract this week. The plan of the board is to go down there with our board council and sit down and have a meeting with the School District of Philadelphia to renegotiate that contract, because the numbers are not where they need to be for us to do what we need to do for our students. They put some cuts in that contract that we're not happy with, and we're going to explore every option through renegotiation or even possibly litigation to get what we need. for our kids, for our drivers, and for our transportation department. Anything else under new business? I know I have a note if you want to. You need the mic, Jenny?
No. Hi, my name is Jenny Guthrie, and my son is an intern at Brigham High School. On behalf of mine and Deborah, I would like to present this check of $800 to the transition committee to be used for the intern program at the high school.
Thank you very much. The transition committee is something, I'll give it to you. The transition committee is something that is a true partnership between our parents and our school administration. And you know, when our kids leave here, it's a happy day. When some of our kids with special needs leave here, it's a stressful day and it's an uncomfortable day. So it's a very important integral part of what we do here at Philadelphia Academy, and I can't thank you enough for that, Chair.
I would like to introduce Kathy Roshia-Meyer. She's going to speak about the intern program.
Sit up here?
You can do whatever you want.
You don't tell me that. My name is Kathy Roshia-Meyer. Hi, I'm Kathy Roshia-Meyer. I'm a parent of a 17-year-old who is on the autism spectrum. I'm an advocate for special education. I'm here because I support many families at PACS and have for over a decade. PACS has had a reputation, as long as my son has been around, for having excellence in special education. It was a school that all of our families strove to get into. I'm not sure how long all of you have been involved, but if you're aware, when the charter was written, the intention of the school was to have, I believe it was 40% of the time they were looking to educate special education students along with those typically developing peers, because if you know the research, including people with disabilities and typically developing peers, helps both students grow. I'm particularly talking about the intern program right now. For those of you who are not familiar, when you have a special education student identified, they have a legal right to stay in school until the age of 21. And the school is required to provide services. Starting at age 14, they're required to present a transition plan to the student, which includes employment, independent living, and education and further training. The school's requirement is to develop the goals, develop services to help the child reach their goal when they exit. Again, PACS has been one of the leaders in transition programming in the city of Philadelphia, so for that you should be very proud. However, as I'm sure you're aware, we have more and more children reaching high school age. I believe you have 6 kids coming from the elementary school this year, going into high school next year, just to mention. But you have more and more children looking for these services. And the state has been focusing on transition specifically for several years, but they're even ramping it up. The state performance plan is being developed right now. I happen to sit on the special education advisory panel for the state of Pennsylvania, and we are helping set the target for those. And one of the major areas we're looking at, and we expect to be a big target, is graduation rates for those people with disabilities. And one of the focuses after they leave school, they're all going to be getting surveys to see what happened after they left. What were the real outcomes? And we've never measured real outcomes before. We really measured how many people we reached, not what the outcome was. And we're looking to see, did they get a job? Were they in a further education? Were they in training? Were they in a sheltered workshop? Or are they sitting at home? The data right now is pitiful. Most of our kids are graduating and they're sitting at home, even with educational excellence. So it's something that needs to be stepped up. But this is the excellent opportunity, and this is the perfect time for many ways. One area, because TDE is going to be concentrating on the area, there's going to be grants and funding in that area. Secondly, note we're looking at a new state funding formula for all students, including special education, and the funding that you're going to get is based on the need of the child, the level of service, which it has not been in the past. So the students who are more likely to be in the intern program are the students you're going to get more dollars for. So in a lot of ways that may help boost your program. I'm sure you're aware that regardless of the funding you get, it is your responsibility to provide these services to the children. However, again, we are at a point where there's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of OVR action, the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation, and other organizations that are working to raise funding. There is a report due at the end of January that was headed by Denny O'Brien called the Autism Project, where he is working to make sure the city of Philadelphia is the most autism-friendly city in our nation. And I'm mentioning autism, and I know we have many kids on the spectrum here, but we also have many children with intellectual disabilities, and a lot of their issues overlap. He, I believe, has funding out there. The report's going to City Council recently, and one of their focuses, again, is very focused on transition and up. So there's many opportunities for funding to support this program. Your families at PACS are so active and so willing to support you. You know, you have some funding here right now, and that's just one parent. And there are grants. There are programs that you can collaborate with and connect with that would not, you know, hit your funding and support your programs to help it get to a higher level, to help it do more innovative programming. I think we owe it to our children to help support them when they get to this age range, because they need the skills to be able to hold a job, to live a life like everyone else. We see too many kids going through the whole system, going through a great education, and then sitting home on the couch. Again, you have a great program, but you know, we need to keep it intact. I know you're working on your budget now. I know there's a budget pitfall. There's a budget pitfall everywhere. But I just want you to be aware you have to look at it. That's not a place to cut, because, again, the level of service is going to start changing your income level from the state. Additionally, you know, quite frankly, because there's so much focus on this and so many families are well educated, they go to due process, and you're not going to be in a good shape. It will cost you more in the end than if you build the program to begin with. You have excellent teachers working in this program who have brought these kids so far, and they just need a little more support. I know, unfortunately, your financial person isn't here, so I can't share any data for him, but I can always bring you numbers and data, anything that you need. Any questions I can help you with, that would be great. Any way we can support you. I can do presentations, we can bring you guest speakers, we can help you do some grant writing. But in the end, every family that I know is thinking about their individual child and what can we do to make sure that when they leave here, they don't lose everything that they gained from this excellent program and sit home on a couch. So thank you.
Thank you very much, and I'd like to thank Jenny Devlin again for bringing you to our attention. I do have your email from when you emailed the board earlier in the week. We've shared that with the administration, and it's odd that the day you emailed us, we were talking with the administration about fundraising and specifically for the transition program, so everything fell in place, so thank you. Anything else? Sue? I think that is the case.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
if not, you are now, right?
I think that some of this, we don't want to step over, step on anybody's toes. We want to make sure, we have to make sure people advocate. So
Everybody on the board shaking their head. I think, why don't we do this? Why don't we just add you as a line on our Board of Trustees report every month?
Okay.
And that'll give you another report to give, so.
And then the other thing, as far as the donation from Mrs. Weaver, we had talked about using that to go to the Chamber of Commerce. And I think that would actually benefit the whole school, because then we can make some of those community connections that we want. So that's what we're hoping to do with that money.
Right, and Mrs. Adams is up here shaking her head, and she's had her eye on this check since the moment it laid on this table, so I think that is the intention.
And we are waiting on one more. We did apply for a grant through the Autism Society. We think that we have to wait for that.
Thank you. Under new business? Anything else? Anybody else on the board? Oh, hold on. CEO search. The search for CEO, we said it would continue in January. It is continuing in January. The board, in consultation with the administration and in concert with the administration of both schools, and had some concerns about the wording that went out last time. With their input, we are redrafting the CEO posting that's going to go out. We foresee that going out probably mid-next week. And it'll be posted mid-next week. We have one draft that was given to us by the administration. We tweaked it a little bit, myself and Mr. McClay, and Mary Dysler and the interim CEO are going to be meeting next week. Once we have that finally drafted, it will be going out. So we're about where we said we would be on that. So that will be going out next week. And as far as updates, I can't think of anything else unless somebody from the board wants to correct me on anything. Motion to adjourn by Boyle, seconded by Sullivan. In favor? Opposed? The ayes have it.